Hello, and thank you for taking the time to listen to this message. The energy that I'm tapped into for this message is for the energy coming off from the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces energy. When we talk about Pisces on a collective level, it would be 12th house energies. So this isn't where you could see things coming up that were hidden. You can be brought awareness of hidden enemies. It can be a time of heightened intuition, and it's also about closing out cycles. And I felt this really just boom snap earlier during that moon. Like it was almost around, I feel, the time that it was peaking, where it was just like there was this break in the energy, and it was like a lot of things falling down that were just being brought to light. So it was just this energy of disconnection from that low vibrational energy of toxicity, whatever that is. When we talk about things that are hidden, people typically hide things for a reason. That would be a low vibrational energy. Hidden enemies, another low vibrational energy. And I really felt that strong snap of the energy where it was no longer connected, and that it was just exposed, right? Brought to the light, that sort of energy. So this may not have happened already for you right now. It may already have happened. It could be something that is still playing out. And again, this is an energy that we're going to feel, this is really going to be playing out for a while, but I do feel like the brunt of it is happening now. The bottom of the deck, before I even get into this reading, was the 7 heavenly virtues, keys to success. And while I did feel that snap and that break and that release of that toxic low vibrational energy, that obviously has opened that portal, right, for the great things to happen, for the truth and the clarity, for you to be able to move forward in the light versus in the dark. By closing out some things, right? Pisces energy, closing out some cycles. It was 2:22 on the timer when I was saying that. So let's take a peek at what this message wants to say for us. I cannot make this stuff up. Here's the first card for this reading. New beginnings. Aries energy. Resilience is at the bottom of the deck. So again, it gives me that vibe, that energy, like I said, with Pisces, right? Saturn has just barely gone into Pisces. It's only at the very, very end, 29 degrees in a couple minutes. It is into Pisces. Saturn was already in Pisces. It went into Aries for the first time, and then it just has retrograded back into Pisces. So Saturn is our teacher, right? Saturn is about timing. Saturn is about karma. And it's gone back into that collective 12th house energy to close out some things, to make sure those lessons have been learned, to bring forth structure, discipline, and timing of things that are meant to play out. When I see this resilient card here at the bottom of the deck, it gives me that vibe of somebody have really, whoever you are, having really had to overcome a lot of challenges. Again, it could have been hidden enemies or things that were hidden, done in the dark, that sort of energy. And I feel like your, not only your resilience, but your perseverance to keep moving forward is about to be rewarded. I know I've mentioned this prior when I used to do the lives on my channel, where I would talk about Jupiter is that beautiful energy of growth, expansion, abundance, right? But Saturn can reward even bigger than Jupiter can. When you learn those lessons, there is also a reward that comes through with that energy, right? And if you don't learn that lesson, then we get the consequences, right, from whatever that is. So I do see you rose above a lot of situations is how I'm feeling about it, because I see so many things. I feel like this person is moving forward. When I'm looking at this card here, I'll pull this up for you, right? Look at the bottom of it. See, it's almost like this right here looks like the portal to this. Take a leap of faith, and that's what this person, wow, find a way to abundance, to the kingdom. Like this really feels to me all playing out. And there's the new beginning up there as well. But I do feel like this person is just taking a quick look back. They're just looking over their shoulder briefly, not even turning their body in that direction. Look, another thing I'm seeing right here with the shoes. I feel so many energies coming through right now. But I feel like this is somebody just taking that one last look over their shoulder, taking the lessons that they've learned, but they're already 1 foot into the new world, heading towards the future, heading towards something new. That sort of energy is what I'm feeling. And you really see this person, like that to me could represent, whatever, to me it felt like the world, right? They're leaving that old world behind and taking that leap of faith into the portal. Another thing I felt with the shoes, right? I did feel Cinderella right away when I felt that, right? Hurrying up and leaving and this, that, and the third thing. And as many people try to fit into that shoe during the Cinderella story, right? It only fit one person. And I'm, take that how it resonates, release what doesn't. But I do feel like this is a true, story of a future that is very destined, very blessed, very beautiful. I do feel an energy, really strong, happy energy, higher vibrational energy. It's like, again, it feels that shift of I'm looking one quick glance over my shoulder and, looking away once and for all, not to look back is the energy that I'm feeling with this. Let's see what energies want to come out through the tarot. So I do see this beautiful beginning. And again, those 3 cards, the dove taking that leap of faith, and look how bright and beautiful that world is here. I'll pick this up so in case anything resonates with you, or in case, something in here appears for you, it could be just for you as well. And you see this person looking towards the future, right? You see the old world behind them and the new world being surrounded. Look, dreams, believe in your dreams. This is beautiful energy about moving away from that low vibrational energy, closing out that cycle once and for all, making peace with it, right? Accepting that and being able to move forward. I feel wiser. Even when I was looking at the person, what card was it? This one right here. It's almost like this one felt more, that I don't want to say naive. I'll say innocent spirit. I'm not saying this one's not an innocent spirit. I feel like there is a lot of innocence with this as well, like that pure, energy. But this one seems more mature and wiser. And I feel like that's what you're letting go of. And that's what you're leaving in the past, right? You're going into the future much more mature and wiser. So let's keep going. First card that wants to come out is the 5 of Cups. And we'll see what this energy is telling us about. So 5 of Cups, bottom of the deck. On the 4 of Pentacles. And this talks about being blocked a lot of times, right? And then you see the 4 to the right, the 5, and we got the 4 on the bottom here, both of Pentacles. I feel like it's talking about, it's bringing me to this resilience where you've had to overcome maybe a lot of lack. And this can be, it is in the physical realm, so it can be in whatever, lack of resources, lack of connections, lack of friends, lack of whatever this is for you, but it's something in your lack of love, right? Any of that sort of thing. It feels like there was some sort of block that, to me, it's talking about that energy that was just broke, that energy that, released that whatever that block was. It's a liberating. I felt like a very liberating feeling. I felt like a lot of cleansing and purifying of energy. You may feel a lot lighter right now. You're not necessarily understanding why. There does feel like whatever that block was, like I felt that energy of you persevering and being resilient, right? Rising above this stuff, like not letting this stuff sink you into that depth of dark loss, regret, all of that stuff. It's like taking your power back for sure. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. Oops. All right, 2 cards wanted to come out, and so, ooh, 5, 5. And then, ooh, the Chariot. I'm loving this. Bottom of the deck is the Hierophant. So let's talk about the 5, 5 first, because we got the 5 of Pentacles and now comes the 5 of Cups, right? So again, I feel like that's probably why this resilience card came out, because it did feel like there was such an intense block. Like you really had to persevere through some challenges, rise above some chaos, confusion, like trials, tribulations, whatever this was. And I feel like at one point, I'm not feeling this energy now, I feel at one point there was this feeling of lack with the 5. 5s talk about challenges and change, right? Because we work through and face that challenge and move through that challenge. And then we get to the 6, which is a much stabler energy. So I feel like in their physical realm and in their emotional realm, when we talk about the 5 of Cups, this talks about somebody, and I do feel when I was looking at that 4 of Pentacles that was on the bottom of the deck, where somebody was really blocked off, right? And they could have been stuck and stagnant and like going through this restrictive time frame and experiences and all of that stuff because they were busy focusing on the 3 of Cups that have been spilt, which talks about feelings, emotions, relationships, loss, like definitely challenging experiences when it comes to the emotional realm, their feelings and their relationships, as well as probably, double whammied right here where, and I've talked about this as well, where their finances were taking that hit as well. I've mentioned several times where, Venus, the ruler of love, also rules our money. It's like one and the same on that coin, right? When your heart space is at a high vibrational frequency, when it's pure, when it's authentic, when it's healed, right? That you notice a lot of favorable things going on in your life, like, growth in finances, resources, stable relationships, all of this stuff. It's like on an upswing, right? And then when you get, have life come at you in whatever way, or, have something come at you sideways in some sort of way, it can sometimes put you in this funk of being down, depressed, sad, crying over spilt milk, really feeling like some sort of challenging things that are really not only affecting you on an emotional level, but on a physical level as well with the Pentacles. I'm feeling this lunar eclipse has really shifted life for someone, and the someone I'm speaking to is someone who has had to overcome a lot of challenges, and regardless of what those challenges were in their life, they continued to persevere, to keep moving forward. They were resilient through these challenges. They didn't let them sink them, take them down, and that sort of thing. And this new beginning is now here, and I do feel this new beginning is going to be extremely prominent when we get to the 21st of September, which is when we're going to see that new moon in Virgo, Pentacle energy, solar eclipse. So the next card that showed up was the Chariot card. This talks about moving forward. This talks about victory and success. And I know if you guys have watched any of my readings, I use different decks, and sometimes we don't get what we're seeing in this deck. I typically pick the decks that I'm drawn to before I'm going to do the reading, and then that's how I pick the decks. And tonight it was this deck that I picked. This is, I forgot. I'm going to have to do better about that. I'm sorry. I just don't bring the boxes over here with me. So, but you see that what's pulling that Chariot are in alignment. They're both facing forward and they're both very balanced. And I'm also recognizing and seeing this energy of like really being balanced with a masculine and a feminine energy. And I feel this on an individual level. Like I feel the driver of this Chariot that's moving forward. You can see all the stars up around it and everything. It's just feeling a really beautiful energy. I feel like this person is moving forward with a balanced feminine and masculine energy, and we all carry all of those. Like, we carry masculine energy, we carry feminine energy, regardless of gender, and this is about having that energy aligned and stable, moving forward towards the future. Okay. I am feeling with this energy right there that, and that could have been part of all of that stuff right there too. Maybe somebody had to be more in a masculine energy, is what I'm feeling about that, just by the new beginnings. It gives me the phoenix rising over there. Aries energy we're talking about when we're looking at that card as well. So really being in that masculine energy, having to not only nurture, care for themselves, take care of life and handle their business and all, all the things, right? But also be that warrior, that defender, that protector at the same time, whether it be of you, people around you, that sort of thing. And I feel like somebody has really aligned with that feminine and masculine energy and are in alignment to move forward. And that's why this reading is coming out. I mean, this reading's not going to resonate with everybody, but for those of you that this is, you'll know. You know what you know. Bottom of the deck is the Hierophant. This can look at Ace of Cups on the bottom of the deck as well. This can indicate a tradition. It can indicate a marriage. It can indicate organizations, things like that. I am just getting this feeling with this card, and I don't typically feel this card. Again, it's a number 5. It is a major arcana card. I almost get this energy just because of the cards that come with it, with the Ace of Cups and the 5 of Swords together. This could have been a marriage, right, that ended up really challenging. And then there's 4 5s when I see that 5, right? So there's 3. And they're financial, they're emotional, and they're mental, right? And so the only one that is missing out of the 5s that I'm seeing is the 5 of Wands, which it feels to me like that's already an energy that's in the past. Like there was a lot of conflict, drama, something like that anyhow. So when I'm looking at these cards like this, I'm getting the energy of this. I just don't feel it in a very high vibrational energy is what I'm trying to say. It gives me more that, I'm all holier than thou and bow to me kind of energy. That's how I'm feeling with it. And, it was like, I just, with these right there like that, I kind of feel like there could have been, I'm feeling that predator energy, that praying with an E, on feelings, emotions, that sort of thing. It feels like that, like emotional and mental, confusion, it was just not a healthy thing, right? The mental and emotional challenges, situations, manipulation through, that's it, the manipulation through the the feelings, the emotions, the connection, right? Because cups can talk about relationships, so this can be with people you are friends with, your family, whoever this is. I do feel like there was a lot of it's like trying to gain control and power and be all holier. It just keeps giving me all holier than thou. Like people need to bow down to them, that sort of thing. That's what I'm feeling. And I feel like that's not the way it is anymore. Ooh, I guess I would be right. There is the Judgment card. And at the bottom of the deck is the 3 of Pentacles. All right, let's look at this. So first and foremost, I'm seeing the 2 major arcana cards. There is a major life-changing moment or experience that is moving you forward in a very balanced way. When judgment has been called, this really feels to me that energy. Not only is it from the higher realms, I feel from the individual realms as well. Like on an individual level, you chose to call judgment on a situation. You rose to the occasion and said, no, I'm not tolerating this. I'm better than this. I deserve more than this. You really recognized your worth, overcame that. And like I said, not sticking around or staying behind and being a footstool for someone or a doormat, or and that's wherever that fits in your life, or just allowing yourself to stay small, play small, right? Not opening up, expanding and growing and evolving and getting, having bigger and better, that sort of energy. So I feel like this is where it's that's what this eclipse is bringing through, and that I'm picking up on in this reading, where they're done. The fives, the challenges, they're over. There's a recognizing, there's a standing in the power, there's a moving forward. It's like, I'm getting up, I'm doing this, and nothing is gonna stop me, right? It's that energy of like, when you feel that in your soul, root chakra is solid, stable, you're confident. That that was the root chakra. The sacral chakra is like inspired, that fire, that flame is ignited, and then it goes to that solar plexus chakra, which is going to zap that stuff right into the physical realm, more from that internal realm right into your external realm. And that's what I feel is taking place here. It's like somebody standing 10 toes down, they're stepping on that floor like they mean business, and they're like, nothing is standing in my way, I am moving forward. I feel judgment is happening as well. I feel like it's an individual who has maybe called judgment, or they've made the judgment call, right, to stand in their power and clear any obstacles and challenges out of their way, and they're moving forward with full force. They are balanced in their choices, their decisions, the direction, all of that energy, and judgment is here. So let's look at what the universe has to say for whoever this resonates. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if this is yours. Claim this in the comments below, please. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you. This deck is from The Universe Has Your Back. So we're going to look at what the universe wants you to know. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. And that's what I feel had someone stuck. Right? They were going through a healing process. They were feeling things. They were hurting. They were reliving. Every time you relive that thing, it's like just recreating that trauma, right? This is talking about somebody who's recognizing they're done re-traumatizing themselves with would've, could've, should've, spilt milk, the things that have not worked out, the losses, the challenges. They're like not carrying that energy with them moving forward, right? Bottom of the deck is, in every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me towards right-minded thinking in the energy of love. And yes, absolutely. The universe always wants you to go to the higher vibration. It always wants you to go to that place of love, joy, happiness, because that's ultimately what brings you. And it's not doing it for those reasons, right? But it's because it's just like, you ever hear of people who say, I just want a peaceful life, but it doesn't matter what their life looks like. They never find peace in that life because they're never appreciative of where they are and what they have. They just like, they feel like there's a physical thing that they have to have. And even if they got it, they probably still need something else in order to make find that peace. They're never at peace. They're never at peace. Because they haven't done the healing. Their soul, their heart and their soul has not done the healing from whatever traumas they have experienced in this lifetime or prior lifetimes. And they just keep staying stuck in a loop over that. So please don't be that person. I hope not. All right, let's keep moving forward. Let's keep going. The universe has your back. What else does the universe want you to know? What is the universe saying to you? When I focus, I'm sorry. I thought there was two. It felt really thick, but okay, we'll take the first one first. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love, right? When I focus on my inner light, yes, shining a light on internally, that I feel like that soul chakra is like that heart chakra being open. I think I did a reading last week where you seen somebody who was kind of had their hands across their chest and they had their heart chakra blocked off. And when you open that, it's like somebody letting their walls down. And like I said over here, I just want to say something else as well, where I did feel like this person was looking over their shoulder and they were taking the lessons and they've got knowledge and wisdom and they're more mature, that sort of energy right there. I do feel like that they are also having faith in themselves, that they're not making bad judgment calls anymore, that they can trust in themselves, that they can put those guards down, those walls down. They can allow themselves back into that space of purity, of innocence, of where your soul was before it got crushed and traumatized and whatever happened to it, right? It's like someone has done the healing and they have risen above. This is an individual who is moving forward. The next card that came out with that, I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. And that can be just recognizing, right? Recognizing that, some of these things and experiences and whatever it is that you've experienced wasn't because you're a bad person or anything like that. It could just be, because you were dealing with an unhealed individual or you had unhealed issues yourself. This is really talking about somebody going through an enlightenment, an awakening, and really seeing things in a different light. They're looking through a new lens, and that lens is more bright, cheerful, happy. Like, it can be dark outside and pouring rain and a big old storm, and they're comfortable and at peace with who they are within themselves. And that radiates that energy from internally, externally. This is that masculine and feminine energy that I was picking up on. So this was talking about these two cards. My intention was to only pick one card or for each to clarify each one, but two came out for the Five of Cups. I did forget to even talk about this where the Three of Pentacles was on the bottom of the deck. And that's really talking about growth, expansion, and working together, collaborating. But if you look at this Three of Pentacles right here, one person is pretty much doing all the work and two people look like they're just giving the directions, right? Toxic energy right there. It gives me that vibe. And like I said, I don't think ever, and like I cannot ever recall anyways, seeing that Hierophant in not a good way. I just have never picked that energy up with that card before, and to pick that up today just seems like, I don't know, I'm just saying what I'm saying. But anyhow, that's what I'm feeling, like there was a toxic, and look at this. When I pointed out that Hierophant, you've seen two people, right? Almost bowing down to somebody, right? Typically, I see the Hierophant as a very, something to be admired, just something to be respected and that sort of thing. But I didn't feel that energy with that card. And I feel like it was like somebody on a power trip, a toxic energy. This could have been someone who was disguised, like trying to keep people trapped and bound and stuck. Like I'm this, that, and the other thing. I don't know, but I didn't like the vibe of it. And that's what I'm feeling with this card. And then to see all these other energies is just clarifying that for me. It's like one person who's got this skill set and can do the work. And then two people who, like, I just get the energy of these two just being a dictator. That's the energy I'm feeling with this. So anyhow, I want to get back over here. So the bottom of the deck was... the bottom of the deck is my capacity to tune into the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. So this is really nice, right? Like you want to do it from a good space, right? You want to be compassionate and, like have the strength to speak your truth, be compassionate about however that plays out, and the power I need when I am lost, the power to go within, the power to trust your higher self. So let's keep going. Let's look at what the universe has your back wants to say about this Chariot. I love this reading for you guys. Please claim it in the comments if this resonates with you. And again, please, I'd appreciate you. If you like the messages, if they resonate with you, and subscribe to the channel. When I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light. And that's where this person is going. That new beginning is this person moving towards happiness, joy, peace, stability, security, success. This is where this energy is going. Bottom of the deck says, instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good for all, right? And that's very powerful. There is so much power in prayer, especially when everybody is praying for the greater good, right? And it's like, even in the Bible tells you, pray for your enemies, right? Because you want them to, I would hope not, that people don't want people to be stuck in that toxic energy, being trapped and bound to the dark, the anger, the hate, the sadness, the lower vibrational things that keep people stuck in a repetitive cycle, right? So you pray on that. Pray with an A, not with an E, because that's how I felt prior in this reading. Like, it's not going to get you where you want to go and stay there. Just don't. Please don't. All right, so let's keep going. Let's look at what this judgment is and what the universe has your back wants to say about this judgment. You can pray for people, even if they've done you wrong, or, like I said, we talked about the enemies at the beginning, right? You don't have to welcome them back into your life, but pray for them that they come out of that toxic energy or these addictions or anything like that. That'd be a beautiful thing to do, because even though you may not welcome them back in your life, if they can come out of that dark and into the light, we will all feel that, right? The vibration will increase, and that's a good thing. So, wow, I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. And do you see what this card shows on there? The moon cycles. This message is being done when we are right at the beginning of this. Well, the full moon has already peaked and happened. But we are still feeling that eclipse energy. And this really feels like this judgment is to bring all of this, to the light, for a cleansing, for a clearing, for a fresh start and a new beginning. Find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort, right? And so that speaks for itself. My vibes speak louder than my words, and that's it. Like, when you walk by people, you want them to feel your high vibe a mile away. Of course, not everybody's going to like that, and that's okay. They don't have to like your high vibe. You don't have to care. But the minute you allow someone to try to dull your shine, to pick and poke and do something to try to get you to lower that vibration, that's when they're skipping down the street smiling. And that's an energy vampire. That's what they do. That's how they get their energy. And right now we are not here to feed any energy vampires. We are here to lift the vibration and the frequency of the universe with light, love, and compassion. I hope this message serves you well. I send you love and light. Have a great day.